let thy grace and heavenly powers shine in these dark souls of ours.
Good morning. I am the Reverend Dr. Lindsay Bates. My pronouns are she, her, and it's a joy to be with you again this morning. The call to worship is adapted from the words of the Reverend Richard Gilbert. We come together, a company of believers in life. If we are still, we can hear a great communal breathing, the heaving of 100 chests casting off their burdens, the inhalation by fellow worshipers who seek the inspiration of this time and of this place and of this people. We sense renewal pulsing through our very being. May we savor this intermission from the cares of our lives. May we be renewed for the living of these days and all the days yet to come. All this we seek in the holy quiet of this hour.
Would you please rise as you are willing and able? The flaming chalice is the symbol of our larger Unitarian Universalist community, our shared historical tradition, our covenants, and our faith. We light this chalice as an open invitation to all to enter this place with mind and heart and spirit open to new ideas, new experiences, new connections, new relationships, to be in this place with appreciation for all questionings, all the opportunities, all the joyful options offered us by life. To leave this place when our time here ends with compassion for all who also seek a better path, a better life, a better world. Now, if you would please recite our covenant of our shared community. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote unity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service. And now let us all sing together opening song number 350 in the Gray Hymnal, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time.
The ceaseless flow of endless time, no one can check or stay. We fill the past with no regret, no future with dismay. The present slips into the past, and the dream like melts away. The breaking of tomorrow's dawn begins anew today. The past and future ever meet in the eternal now, to make each day a thing complete shall be our new year vow.
Any guesses to what might be in this? Identified? A lump of coal. How many got one for Christmas? A few people did get one for Christmas. This story for all ages is a story about a lump of coal who can think, talk, and move itself around. Is there a more charming holiday tale to behold? Probably, but Lemony Snicket has not written one. He did write this one. Illustrated by Brett Hellquist, here's the story of the lump of coal, telling how miracles can happen even to those who are small, flammable, and dressed all in black. The holiday season is a time for storytelling, And whether you are hearing the story of a candelabra staying lit for more than a week, or a baby born in a barn without proper medical supervision, these stories often feature miracles. Miracles are like pimples, because once you start looking for them, you find more than you ever dreamed you'd see. And this holiday story features any number of miracles, depending on your point of view. The story begins with a lump of coal, who, for the sake of argument, could think, talk, and move itself around. Like many people who dress in black, the lump of coal was interested in becoming an artist. The lump of coal dreamed of a miracle, that one day it would get to draw rough black lines on a canvas, or more likely on a breast of chicken or salmon fillet by participating in a barbecue. But barbecues, sadly, are for summer. And this is a holiday story, and so takes place in the dead of winter, when the air is gray and wet shoes line up in the hallways, shivering and crying tears of sleet. It is difficult to find a barbecue in the winter, although it is easy to find small animals scurrying through backyards and tipping things over, such as abandoned snow-covered lawn chairs, frozen bird baths, and forgotten bags of charcoal. And this is how the small, flammable hero of our story found itself tumbling out into the world. "This is not the miracle I was hoping for," said the lump of coal. "But perhaps if I roll around a bit, I can find something interesting." The lump of coal rolled out of the backyard, taking care to avoid the inevitable puddles of winter, and soon found itself in the center of town. You would think that the center of town would be bustling during the holiday season, but most shoppers were bustling around at the mall several miles away, so there was plenty of room on the sidewalk for a lump of coal. It window shopped for a while, and then to its delight, the lump of coal found itself outside an art gallery. In the window were several paintings that looked like someone had taken a dark, crumbly substance and smeared it all over a piece of paper. "I can't believe it," cried the lump of coal. "Here is an art gallery that displays art by lumps of coal. It's a miracle." When the lump of coal rolled inside, however, it discovered that the art gallery was not a miracle after all. "We do not represent artists such as yourself," said the gallery owner after the lump of coal had introduced itself. The gallery owner had a long, oily mustache and a strange accent that the lump of coal suspected was fake. "We have a wide selection of works by human beings that suits us just fine. Please go away and don't leave smudges on my artistic floor." Disappointed, the lump of coal rolled outside. "That was not the artistic opportunity I was hoping for," it said to itself. "But if I roll around a bit more, perhaps I can find something interesting." The lump of coal rolled further down the block and stopped in front of a building where powerful smells were wafting, a phrase which here means coming from nearby even though the door was closed. A sign was on the building informing passers-by that the building was named Mr. Wong's Korean Barbecue Palace and Secretarial School, which made the lump of coal gasp in delight, because I forgot to tell you that for the sake of argument, the lump of coal could read. "It's a miracle," cried the lump of coal, and certainly there was every reason to believe this was so. A Korean restaurant is an excellent opportunity to enjoy an indoor barbecue. In fact, many such establishments have small barbecue pits installed in the tables, so you can do the barbecuing yourself. I have spent many a pleasant evening in Korean restaurants, taking shelter from the winter cold, warming myself by the barbecue pit at my table, and enjoying the smell of the toasted rice tea, eggplant salad, and pickled cabbage served alongside the roasted meats and vegetables. When the lump of coal rolled inside, however, It discovered that Mr. Wong's Korean barbecue palace and secretarial school was not a miracle after all. The air was filled with the smell of oregano, which is not a Korean spice. And the owner was wearing a pair of very ugly earrings and a rude scowl on her face. "I don't need any coal," she said. "I get all my coal from a Korean restaurant supply factory. Everything in this restaurant has to be 100% Korean." "But Wong isn't even a Korean name," the lump of coal said. "And judging by the smell, I don't think you're using proper Korean spices." "Please go away," said the restaurant owner, "and don't leave any smudges on my Korean floor." The lump of coal did what it was told and began to grow very despondent, a word which here means certain that a miracle would not occur after all. "Perhaps miracles only happen to human beings," it said. "Or maybe miracles are only as genuine as Mr. Wong's Korean barbecue palace and secretarial school. Perhaps I should just bury myself and become a diamond after thousands of years of intense pressure." Just when the lump of coal was ready to return to its bag in the backyard, however, it ran into someone I'm sure I don't have to introduce. He was an overweight man with a long white beard, dressed in a very bright red suit. "Santa Claus!" cried the lump of coal. "It's a miracle!" "I'm not a miracle," said Santa Claus, "and I'm not really Santa Claus. I'm an employee of the drugstore, dressed up and giving out coupons. The real Santa Claus is at the mall." "Do you have any use for me?" asked the lump of coal. "I'm an artist at heart, but I'm very helpful when cooking meat." Santa Claus sighed. "Well," he said, "my stepson is a very disobedient boy named Jasper. His mother used to say he had an artistic temperament, but I think he's a brat. You're just the thing to put in his stocking as punishment." "I guess that's better than nothing," the lump of coal said. And when Santa Claus put him in Jasper's stocking, the lump of coal found that being in a cozy sock was, in fact, better than nothing. And when Jasper found the lump of coal, things became even better than nothing. "A lump of coal," Jasper cried. "I've been wanting to create some abstract art featuring rough black lines." "I'd be happy to be of assistance," said the lump of coal. "Egad," cried Jasper, "you can talk! It's a miracle!" It was a miracle, although the miracles didn't stop there. Jasper and the lump of coal collaborated on a number of remarkable objets d'art, which the art gallery sold for an enormous fortune. That was a miracle. Jasper and the lump of coal used this fortune to visit Korea, where they had always wanted to go. And when they came back, they bought the restaurant and turned it into a proper place known as Yi Sang's Korean Barbecue Palace and Secretarial School, after the famous Korean poet who was unfairly imprisoned for crimes he did not commit. That was a miracle, too. In the daytime, the two friends cooked genuine Korean food, and in the evenings, they produced works of abstract art. And they never saw Santa Claus again, although they heard he had been fired from the drugstore for making fun of someone who was buying a certain ointment. All these things are miracles. It is a miracle if you can find true friends, and it is a miracle if you have enough food to eat. And it is a miracle if you get to spend your days and evenings doing whatever it is you like to do. And the holiday season, like all the other seasons, is a good time not only to tell stories of miracles, but to think about all the miracles in your own life and to be grateful for them. And that's the end of this particular story. Time for our offertory.
As we approach the time for our offering, give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that will mean so much to those who came before you, and the church that will mean so much to people you will never know. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. Therefore, as the offering is passed, give generously into it, as though you were giving to your deepest hopes for this place, our world, and for one another, for so you are. If you're here this morning for the first time, please let the plate pass you by, because being here is your first great offering. And please, no lump of coals in the offering plate.
Thank you, Janice. And to all of you, thank you for your generosity to one another in this place. Our reading for meditation is adapted from the Reverend Christine Robinson. And I invite you to take a deep centering breath. Allow yourself to relax and move into a time of meditation, reflection, and prayer. For all its joy, this season of winter holidays and holy days is, for adults, a season which also has its poignant, painful side. For this is also the season of remembering. We remember those with whom we have spent other such seasons: Hanukkahs, Christmases, Eids and Yules, Kwanzas and New Year's, those whom we have loved and whom we deeply miss. We remember the ideals of past and present, of peace, love, family harmony, generosity of spirit, and know how often and deeply we have fallen short. We remember the joyful expectancy of our younger years, now tempered with time, with chores, with the twists and turns of life and fortune. It is good to remember. Only for the very young and very fortunate is this a time only of joy. The rest of the weary world pauses to remember hopes and fears, absent ones, wounds, griefs, and failures in the silent night. Remember, and then tuck those memories into the sacred empty space that is a part, but only a part, of your being. Remember, take a deep breath and look around. Look at the candles, small lights in the darkness. Remember the stories of courage and faith. Note the evergreen in the midst of winter, marking the eternal cycle of life and love. Ponder the story of the babe in the manger and the loving message he brought to our shadowed world. Listen to the raised voices of those around you, the congregation of those who celebrate these holy days in spite of grief, loss, pain, tarnished ideals, unfulfilled expectations, desperate hopes, or weary isolation. Listen, ponder, look. The lights still shine. The world turns towards the sun. The evergreen lives in the winter. Hope and possibility are born with every child. You are not alone. Spirit of life and love, turn our hearts to you in this season. Bring us peace. Bring us hope. Bring us joy. Amen, and blessed be.
We don't have any joys and concerns to share with you this morning, but if you do have issues or something you want to talk about, please contact either Care Ministry or the Lay Ministry. Let us now sing Spirit of Life, hymn number 123.
This next reading, A Cautionary Christmas Tale, is a true story by the Reverend Frank Rivas. My little sister Renee was 10 years younger than I. When she was in kindergarten, I considered her to be the most obnoxious child on this planet. So I decided to get her a lump of coal for Christmas. I know that people generally consider it Santa's responsibility to give lumps of coal to bad little boys and girls, but I had learned over the years not to trust Santa's judgment. I'd seen it over and over again. The old man went easy on little kids. So the responsibility fell to me. I searched the yellow pages. Remember those? Yeah. Went to the nearest coal yard. Anyone remember those? Picked out an exceptionally large chunk, wrapped it nicely in a box with a bow, and placed it under the Christmas tree. Our family encouraged recipients to lift, shake, and guess at the contents as soon as a gift was under the tree. Renee was fascinated. What gift could weigh so much? By our Christmas morning tradition, the gifts were sorted into 5 piles, and then one at a time, going around the circle as many times as necessary, we opened our gifts for everyone to see. Renee opened mine first. As she unwrapped ribbon, paper, box, her excitement grew. My excitement grew too. The moment of reckoning was at hand. From her first glance at the coal, she loved it. She screamed with delight and hugged me profusely. How was I to know that only a week earlier in her kindergarten class, she had learned how to grow colorful crystals on coal? How was I to know this would be her favorite gift? There's a moral to this story, my friends. Watch out for this season. There's a spirit in the air that can turn even the most vindictive thoughts into good deeds.
The second reading is Looking for the Lock by the Reverend Robert Fulgham. January 1 of 1990, Nagano-shi, Japan. Zenkoji Temple, Kondo Hall, the largest wooden building with a thatched roof in all of Japan. 30 meters high, with a floor space of 1,766 square meters. Huge. The Japanese equivalent of the great Gothic Cathedral of Chartres. Inside it, in the inner sanctuary area of the highest altar, the Amida Trinity is enshrined. To the right of the sanctuary is a stairway entrance to a long, pitch-dark, circular corridor underneath the high altar. Somewhere in this corridor is a lock hung on the wall. If, while groping your way in the dark through this circular corridor, you are fortunate enough to touch this lock, you are destined to go to the Buddhist paradise. Or so it is said. So there I was on January 1, groping my way along in the darkness and towing my wife along behind me by the hand. She is afraid of the dark. I am also afraid of the dark, but she doesn't know that and thinks as long as she holds my hand, she will be okay. Family myths. Anyhow, we're stumbling along in this wooden tunnel, and it is seriously dark in here. Feeling the walls and ceiling and floor for the lock, I am going to find this lock. But I'm looking for a Western lock, something I can put my hand on. No luck. But I push on through the darkness and back into the light with relief, and also with the suspicion that there wasn't a lock down there in the first place. Somebody else must have found it and taken it with him. I braved the dark and didn't find a thing. I braved the dark and didn't find a thing. The priest gave me his kindest smile. Perhaps you were not looking in the correct way for the right thing. This is a rite of passage. You see, the corridor itself is the lock, representing a year of life. To unlock it means to have made the journey through the darkness with courage to the light. Happy New Year.
A song of the seasons. The wheel of the year is turning. We listen in the deep silence for the holy to speak. I am winter. I am the time of cold and quiet, snow and ice and bare trees with no leaves. I am the time when days are still short, but are growing longer. I am the time when nights are long, but growing shorter. I am the time when the earth seems dead, but I know that earth is resting, getting ready for spring to return. I am the mysterious time before birth, when life seems to hold its breath and wait. I am the warm hearth where the fire burns brightly with joy and hope and love. I am Christmas and solstice, the time of the sun's turning. Often I am Hanukkah, the time of remembering courage and miracles. I am Kwanzaa, celebrating the spirit of humanity and community. I am the time of promises, of goodwill to all. I am the turning year, as one calendar's counting ends and a new count of the passing of time begins. I am winter, and I bid you peace.
I am spring. I am the time of brighter days and shorter nights, when the warmth of the sun invites new life to begin. I am March winds yielding to May's gentle breezes. I am cold rain becoming gentle showers. I am the time of planting, the time of seeds beginning to grow. I am the returning of the robin and the dancing of the lamb and the calf in the fields. I am the time of infancy and childhood, of the promise of new life. I am Passover and Easter, times of new hope and new beginnings. I am spring, and I bid you joy.
I am summer. I am the time of long, slow days and warm, humid nights, when the sun spends its longest hours shining on this part of the earth. I am green tomatoes and fresh sweet beans and tall stalks of corn growing fat and ripe and ready for the harvest. I am a time of playing, resting from labor, rejoicing in freedom and growth. I am youth, adventurous, exploring, not yet sure who I will be. I am Memorial Day and Labor Day, and in between the 4th of July. I remember, and I look ahead. I am summer, and I bid you hope.
I am autumn. I am the time of darkness returning and warmth giving way to cool breezes that become cold winds, thunderstorms that become heavy, freezing rains. I am the harvest when growth is done and we reap what the earth has yielded. I am the withering of grasses and the falling leaves. I am the ending of the year's cycle, preparing for the great darkness before the light returns. I am maturity and labor completed. I am adulthood, becoming aware of the anticipation of death. I am at the time of reflection, looking upon what I have planted and grown and reaped. I am All Hallows, and I am Thanksgiving, remembering those who have gone before, giving thanks for all that we receive. I am families and friends regathering. I am the stranger recognized and welcomed in. I am autumn, and I bid you love.
But I am winter, and this is my time now. This is the season of lights, of Yule logs and Advent wreaths, Hanukkah candles and the Kinara of Kwanzaa. It's also a time of ending as the old year in our calendar comes to a close, and a time of fresh beginnings as we meet the new year at midnight on December 31st. We survived the old year. Given what 2024 was like, that was an accomplishment. Congratulations, everybody. We successfully made the journey through the dark corridor. We encountered miracles when we were surprised to discover that even a lump of coal can be a treasured gift. We hope we are ready for whatever the new year may bring us. We release and leave behind with a sigh of relief those events, memories, actions, and failures to act, opportunities missed, disappointments, and losses suffered that always want to weigh us down as we prepare to move forward. It is one thing to choose to release the past. It is another to actually do it. For generations, people have used rituals in groups or as solitaries to say goodbye to those parts of the old self, the old ways, the old year we do not want to carry forward with us into the new. How many of us are list makers? Making lists is nothing new. We all know about the lists of this season, how Santa Claus is making lists of naughty and nice, and how many of us were referred to those lists when we were younger to encourage better behavior. Anybody get that now and again? And we know how God, during Rosh Hashanah, goes over the books of life and makes his lists. The truly good, the truly bad, and all the rest of us in the longest of lists. There is another list being made in the ancient northern hemisphere at the turn of the year, where the ancient mother finishes her lists of the children of her life and how they have been during the past year. One list is carved in ice for all the cold-hearted, negative, sad, and sorry events and remembrances. And one is carved in silver for the shining, joyful, glad, and grateful events and remembrances. In the winter, snow covers those tablets. In the spring, Mother's snow melts, and so too do the tablets of ice. The good deeds and memories on the silver tablet may need a bit of polishing now and then, but those stay with you forever. The words written on the ice, however, are gone. And with the new year, the ancient mother begins 2 new lists. I invite you to consider how you have made the journey of this year now ending. Consider in particular what notes the ancient mother may have made in silver and in ice for you. And we will honor both of those lists. Melting chunks of ice would be extremely messy, and I promised Reverend Pam I would leave the sanctuary in the same condition in which I found it. So instead of ice, we invite everyone to write with ink or pencil or crayon, or if you prefer, simply with your finger so that no one else can read what you might have written. On special magical paper, write down whatever you wish to release, to overcome, to forgive. And if our ushers could give Leslie a hand, we will pass out the magic paper. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with flash paper. It is magic. In whatever way you wish, whatever you wish to release, to overcome, to forgive, to be forgiven, to leave behind, to forget of the year 2024, write on this paper. And I was asked beforehand, can you write Trump? And I will say that is certainly an option, but let's not be silly about what is possible. Consider what you can leave behind and leave the politics out of it. And each piece of paper will be offered to the purifying flame. And the paper will vanish, just like the ice, along with all that you have written. You will then be invited to light a candle of hope, a prayer for 2025, that the silver list you carry with you into the new year may be long and shining, and that the ancient mother will smile upon you as she records more items on silver for you in the year that soon begins. So everyone gets one piece of paper. You begin writing whenever you feel moved to do so. In a moment, I will invite you to come forward when you're ready. Come carefully forward. Come up the ramp. That's going to be the safest way to arrange the traffic. Come to the cauldron. And here's the cauldron. Those tall enough to reach the cauldron may offer their own paper. Light, lift, throw, and away it will go. And after you have given your paper to the cauldron, move carefully down the steps to the front of the table. And Leslie will be at the table to help you with lighting the candles of hope for the new year. But again, it's all very simple. You touch your paper to the flame, lift and throw, and let it disappear. And then to the candles to light a candle of hope. Does everyone have a piece of paper? All right. Then in whatever way is right for you, begin writing. And I will invite Elizabeth to teach you our chant for the fire.
Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be. Mystery, set me free. Let me be who I'm meant to be.
Thank you to all of you for participating. May the old year be indeed past, leaving behind all that we do not need to carry forward. May the new year bring blessings of light and love and hope.
We extinguish the flame of our chalice, but not its message of joy, hope, love, and faith. Those we take into the chalice, each of our own heart, to carry with us out into the world that needs to hear the message of our flame.
And now please rise as you're willing and able to sing our final hymn, hymn number 56, Bells in the High Tower.
Bells in the high tower, ringing on the white hills, mocking the winter, singing like the spring rills. Bells in the high tower, in the cold foretelling, the springs upwelling. Bells in the old tower, like the summer chatter, as the grapes turn redder. Bells in the old tower, now the wine is brimming, the lives are winning. Bells in the stone tower, echoing the soft sound of autumn's will as the wind is spun around. Bells in the stone tower, see the bread is yeasting, for time of feasting. Bells in the cold tower, midst the snow of winter, sound out the spring a song that we may remember. Bells in the cold tower, after the long snowing, come months of growing.
We walk in darkness from one end of a tunnel to the next, dreaming of light. Sometimes it blinds us. Other times it's barely enough to see by, but quite possibly it's all there is. And loving ourselves and loving life despite disillusionment and a knowledge of despair, we can't help ourselves. We want that light. And the heart leaps up.
Shine in these dark souls of ours. Hail, O Son of blessed light, sent to this world by night. Let thy rays and heavenly powers shine in these dark souls